Hey guys, Ashlain here, and you can tell by my voice that I've been pretty busy. I'm still here in Finland in Helsinki, and I decided to take one night off from going out and celebrating ClashCon and having a little discussion with one of my friends, Powerbang Gaming. What's up, Powerbang?
What's up, Ash? Thanks for having me on, man, and thanks for reaching out while you're still over in Finland. I know you're probably jet lagged all the hell, but how's things going over there, man?
It's going pretty well. I thought we could just instead of doing like an interview thing, I thought we'd have you on and just have a discussion. Just pretty just see where the conversation goes, talk update a little bit, and I wanted to get your thoughts from back at home, and I'm sure I could share with you some of my thoughts on from here in Finland. So,
Absolutely. My thoughts. I did stay up all night Pacific time, so the event started
oh,
for me at like 2 in the morning.
two, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Ouch.
so it was brutal, but I was like, you know what? I know they're going to make an announcement. I kind of looked at the schedule beforehand to see what the itinerary was, and it looked like there was an announcement coming towards the beginning. So I stayed up, and we all have heard by now that Town Hall 11 has been confirmed, and that's going to come out. They did highlight a new defense,
Mhm.
as well as kind of leaked, I guess, a new hero that's going to be coming out. But other than that, not a whole lot of new information. I know you're probably privy to most of what's going to be coming out in the
Yeah.
update, but a lot of us feel like we're in the dark a little bit. We don't know what's going on.
Sure, I can totally understand it. I actually just I listened before I had you on to your speculation video you just had, or your reaction, I should say, video to ClashCon, and I guess that's one area that I disagree with. I agree with a lot of what you said, but one area that and I've been keeping a pretty close eye on the forums and stuff on the reaction thread, and the way I see it, and maybe it's because I've been maxed out for a year and a half now, my village, except for a few walls. And my heroes have been maxed since before Clan Wars at Town Hall 10, so I feel like it's been so long since they've given us any new content as far as, you have to go back over 2.5 years, as I said, since the last Town Hall level. So, man, I was so happy as soon as I came here and I, signed the paperwork to get the behind the scenes info, I was pretty excited, and I did think it was really huge. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm here, but I thought that Town Hall 11 and a new hero really were the biggest things. I mean, the defense is obviously looks pretty powerful, and we can talk about that. I'm sure we'll get to that soon, but I thought it was pretty huge. I do know that there's more coming, and I know some of all what's coming. So I think there's I think the whole idea of opening up a Town Hall 11 really adds a lot of possibilities. Whether it be troop levels, spell stuff, and who knows. But I'm sure there's going to be defensive levels, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll have to
I sure hope
see.
so. I'm excited for it too, man. I mean, granted, I think the presentation, there was a lot of hype going into the event. I think, there was multiple places online where they said ClashCon was going to be the big announcement, the big update. And I guess if that was Town Hall 11, which everybody kind of knew, I guess. I mean, I guess we've been saying that for quite some time, but I feel like it was a foregone conclusion since it had been so long since any major update had come out. Like you said, it's been years, and really the last major change to the game that was really groundbreaking was the addition of the Lava Hound to the game, and that was quite
Mhm.
some time ago.
Yeah,
So, I
but
felt
don't you
like,
think? But don't you think it was huge?
oh, I
Whether or not
do,
you predicted it, don't.
I do, but
Yeah,
on this side of the fence, I don't know what to expect. Like, yes, there's Town
sure.
Hall 11. I feel like I should be excited, but for one, that doesn't apply to me, personally, because I'm a Town Hall 9 currently. I still have Town Hall 10 to work through. But I'm not. It's not. That's not a selfish thought. I don't care about what I'm doing. I'm looking at it from a game perspective. But still, we don't know from a just a consumer standpoint what to expect with Town Hall 11. We saw one clip of a new defense,
Mhm.
but other than that, we don't know why we're getting excited at this point. Like
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
I'm definitely anxious to see what comes out because I feel like, yeah, they did need to do something. I felt like the game was starting to become a little bit stale. It was kind of the same old, and kind of revamping and adding some new mechanics, a new town hall level with new troops, new defenses, new heroes, that kind of thing. I felt like that would do a lot for the game, the longevity of it, and also the general enjoyment of the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think we both feel the same way, but we're just reacting a little bit differently. And that could be because I know some of the things that are on the way probably, but at the same time, it's like I think that I appreciate what you said as far as even though you're Town Hall 9, you can still appreciate and get excited for Town Hall 11 because, the way I always looked at it is I was Town Hall like 7 when Town Hall 10 came out. And I guess this is just maybe it's I look at new additions to games that I like with a passionate and optimistic eye, maybe. And that could be a flaw on my part. That could be something that maybe
I don't think so.
yeah, but at the same time, I remember being really excited for Town Hall 10. When it was
Right.
announced, even though I knew it was gonna, it felt like forever till I ever got there. So it's kind of like and a lot of people always complain every update about I'm Town Hall 8. How does this affect me? Why should I care? And I guess this might be an awful analogy, but the thing that I've been saying to people, who on the forums and whatnot, because try to stay kind of active in the forums and on Twitter, is if they were going to add, like, say there were, what is there, 8 levels in Super Mario Brothers? I don't know. It shows how old I am. But if they're going to add another level to Super Mario Brothers, it certainly would be level. It would be content to the end. If they're going to add content to World of Warcraft, it'd be high end content. More often than not. Sure, there'd be a little things here and there to tweak, but the idea, I think the idea coming from Supercell here is that you want to add content that will affect the high end game, and then it will just increase uh, the potential of the whole landscape of the game, and it will give a lower level player something to look forward to. And it will give us higher level players something where we can go. Because right now, in the last year and a half, I've been enjoying the game purely for grinding out a couple last walls and getting wins for clan wars that I don't need to loot to. So
Right. Yeah, I completely agree, and I think it's just a logical decision as far as updates go. I see the same thing in the forums, in my Bindle chat and whatnot. Gosh,
yeah,
some of this stuff doesn't affect me. Well,
yeah,
one, that I think that's kind of a selfish way to look at things, because you have to look at the game as a whole and the health of the game as a whole, and it's just a logical place to start is kind of in-game content and increasing level caps and that kind of thing. You brought up World of Warcraft. They did the same thing there. They increased the level cap by 5 pretty much
yeah,
every expansion, and the content, it gets more and more, and it just kind of gets added to. The one thing that games like that have done is they've made it a little bit quicker to get through some of the early game
yeah. I
by
actually
increasing
mentioned that.
experience.
Yeah,
So I don't know
yeah,
if they'll do something like that. Clash has only been out for a little over 3 years, I believe. So I still feel like, it's long in the genre of mobile gaming, but as far as
yeah.
like a game is concerned, that's still not a super long time. So I don't know if it would be prudent to go that route at this juncture, but that's something I think they could probably look at in the future, maybe making it a little bit quicker to get up to Town Hall 8 or Town Hall 9 or something.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I actually had thought of the same. I guess great minds, because I was asking myself the same thing, and I was like, you know what? Maybe if they just keep adding content, they can, who knows? You pay gems, or who knows how you get there, but or just a free option where you start at Town Hall whatever 6, because that's what they've done in other genres, as you said. But I asked that to a couple other like YouTubers here, and they were like, well, why? It takes like 2 weeks of playing to get up to talent level 6, and I'm like, well, I guess you got a point there. So maybe like you said, maybe it's not the thing to do right now, but it is kind of a cool idea that
Right.
on a game with so much grinding that
I
you
feel like if this game were to progress to the point to where like Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13 were a thing, I know personally I've been at Town Hall 9 for a long time, and that's by choice. I mean, I haven't ever since the YouTube thing kind of took off. I haven't really been farming a whole lot. Like I get my farming done while I'm live streaming anymore, and all I'm trying to get is like 2 more levels on my Archer Queen and a few walls down, and I'm a max 9. But I've been max defense and full Lego walls for, oh, I don't know, 7 or 8 months. It's been a long time, and I stay at Town Hall 9 by choice, just because I enjoy the gameplay.
yeah,
And the 3-star strategies, I guess, at Town Hall 9. I just like the variance there. I feel like it's the most polished Town Hall level to date, and that might change, moving forward. I don't know what's in store for us with this new update, and I'm excited to see if Town Hall 10 becomes a little bit more manageable with some of the new updates. I don't really know how it's going to go down, but there's a real good chance you're going to see a lot of people start migrating up. I've seen some talk from folks saying, I'm staying Town Hall 9 forever. This isn't for me. But at the same time, We just don't know. It's too early to make a judgment at this point. And from those
Yeah.
that I've talked to that are in the know, such as yourself and some other people, everybody's pretty excited about what they've heard and what they've seen. So I'm reserving judgment at this point. I felt, like we could have used a little more info up front, but I'm excited. From this point forward, I haven't been resistant to Town Hall 10, but based off of what I've witnessed and what the game is like, the current state of the game at Town Hall 10, it just doesn't interest me. So I have
Yeah.
neglected to move up to that level, and I've just been enjoying, just doing the best I can at Town Hall 9. And with Town Hall 11 coming out, that's going to change. I think the perspective of a lot of people at Town Hall 9. I've heard some folks say they're staying Town Hall 9 forever, that they don't have an interest in moving up. I think that opinion though could change once we're finally all privy to the details of the update and what's actually coming out. Because
Yeah.
like a lot have said, Town Hall 10 may become the new Town Hall 9, and Town Hall 11 might be the new
Yeah.
Town Hall 10, just in reference to the difficulty, I guess, of three-starring bases in a Clan
Sure.
Wars setting.
No, no, yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I've seen a lot of people say that balancing needs to be the priority here, not Town Hall 11, and I think that's really jumping to conclusions on the update. I think you really need to see uh, how whatever else is coming affects Town Hall 10 before you make judgments on, because think about it, even a few higher level troops at Town Hall 10 could really dramatically impact the success rate of 3-star attempts at Town Hall 10. So
Absolutely.
so
We're
if
all
you
ignorant at
yeah,
this point. We're just making
exactly, yeah.
statements and judgments on stuff that we have no idea about. It's all speculation. So
Exactly.
for me personally, I'm just reserving judgment. I want to see what rolls out. I get asked all the time what I think, and all I can give are my initial reactions.
Sure.
You guys saw that in my last video, but at the same time, I don't have an overall judgment on whether or not Town Hall 11 or this update is going to be good. We don't know what's in it. We've seen
Yeah.
one defense and that's it. So,
Yeah.
and even the defense, we don't know what the name of it is. We don't know the mechanics. We saw, I called it a moonbeam in my video, and that
Yeah, yeah.
thing, it comes down and it looks like it does damage over time to a single target, and it almost afflicts that thing with some sort of damage increasing bonus for the burst that comes down at the end, because there was golems, lava hounds, dragons, kings getting absolutely taken apart by that burst at the end. But it wasn't, there was a group of barbarians that did not die. It only took about half of their health. So,
Yeah, so yeah, as it stands right now, and they must have told us, a dozen times that when you share this stuff, say that it's subject to change because they're still fine tuning. I actually had an interview with Daddy, who I love, a few weeks ago, and he said that how they test updates was by having a dozen to 100 of the team, the employees, play and see what they think. But in reality, maybe that does happen. I'm sure that does happen, but I was able to confirm that they do run the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of testing, as far as really fine tuning things. So that was something they stressed to us, that they're still in that process for the new defense. But as it stands right now, it does a huge amount of immediate damage with that beam. It's not like a single target Inferno where it powers up. So it will
right.
do a huge initial damage, and then it will do a very small splash damage right after that. So, for example, if a Lava Hound is hovering over an air defense, that will be a prime target because it's not moving. Because if the unit is moving, that will mitigate some of that direct damage it does to the unit. So,
That's what it looked like. Is when things were
yes,
moving around, it wasn't doing as much. But when things locked onto a building and were standing still, they just got absolutely nuked. I mean, it was taking out
yeah,
kings, level
yeah,
40
yeah.
kings, like
It was,
instantly. I was like, holy
yeah.
crap.
And I think they made it so. I think they're going to make it so powerful because they really want to. They really love and are passionate about the idea of the whole, phasing, or two parts of an attack, three parts of an attack. And I know you cover. I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention your channel a little bit more because I think we both cover a lot of war stuff. For those of you who might not know my channel as much, but you really get into, you almost specialize in an 100% two phase, or even more depending on the exact strategy of an attack. So I think they really appreciate that, and I think they want to move the game in that direction as far as like meta strategy goes.
That's that sounds great. That's right up my alley, man. I'm excited to
Yeah,
hear that. Everything that they've been saying thus far. I've had no contact with Supercell or anything, but everything they've been saying so far sounds great, and it's right up my alley as far as what I teach on my channel. Phase attacks, hybrid attacks. You see a lot of kill squads going in. Segmenting the base out. We might split our heroes and send in a king and maybe a giant or two to get a queen on one side of the base, and then maybe go the other side of the base to go through some giant bombs. And it'll be interesting to kind of
yeah,
see if there's a potential to kind of do this segmentation of a base at Town Hall 11 and actually
yeah,
be successful, because I mean we still have the Inferno towers to deal with, and who knows if there's not going to be a third Inferno tower
yeah,
at Town
yeah,
Hall 11. It remains to be seen, but
yeah.
we still have a whole lot of defense to deal with, and
Well, think
it's
about
fun to think
yeah,
about the
yeah,
possibilities.
yeah. I think you touched on a few smart ideas there, and I think that I was talking to Jonas, and he said that specifically that's why they designed There's a few designs into that defense that don't look to be changing. I mean, they didn't say that 100%, but my gut says these are things that won't change, and that is the power up aspect of this defense, where it's dormant and it slowly wakes up as you deploy more troop capacity on the map. And what that really does is some people are saying, yeah, great, now Town Hall 10 might be balanced, but now Town Hall 11 is really hard, right? But I think even at Town Hall 11, and this might be once again my optimistic glasses on here, but I think Town Hall 11 might at first, until they add more stuff, obviously in the future years to come, I think Town Hall 11 might be so difficult, depending on what they add for defenses, that you might need two phases to two-star. You
Wow,
know, I mean, I don't like I said,
mind blown.
yeah, pure speculation there, but you might have to divide because right now where it stands, and like I said, subject to change, but it's 100 troop capacity on the map. Anywhere on the map will trigger that new moonbeam, as you call it. So what you could
They
do
better
is you
call
could,
it that officially.
yeah,
No.
exactly, right. But yeah, what you could do is basically take out that moonbeam with less than 100 troops, and then you'd have a normal attack, but you'd have to use up to 100 troops. So it'd be difficult
Definitely.
to ever three-star with only 100, unless they increase army camp sizes. But I mean, there's a lot to speculate on. As you said, it's tough. It is tough, and I understand that criticism. That it's almost impossible to speculate accurately without knowing more. But I guess it's one of those things that we all love the game so much, and that's awesome. And that probably speaks to the passion, right? That people are just
Indeed.
so, yeah, they immediately have opinions, and obviously, like
to
you,
to what you were saying about Pat, I mean, that
yeah,
was one thing that I saw that was a huge positive from ClashCon,
yeah,
is that it was well attended. They obviously
yes,
put a lot of time, thought, money, resources, effort into their event, their venue. The fact that they brought you guys over, and it looked like they really cared, and that's
yeah,
good. That shows well on them, and the general public being there and attending it and being hyped up and excited. I was on the streaming end of it, watching it over the internet, and there
mhm,
was 25,000 people on Twitch on the English speaking stream. There was 100,000 on YouTube.
yeah,
That's I didn't check the non-English speaking streams, but I mean, good lord, that's I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 250,000 people watching that online.
yeah. I think
So
that
that's
peaks it.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the interest is there. I feel like there's a lot of people that are waiting to kind of see where this goes. It's definitely a tipping point in the game's history,
mm,
and we hope I think all of us hope that it's for the best. So that was something that I was encouraged about. I was hoping that there was going to be a lot of interest, a lot of buzz, and I think that was definitely there.
yeah, absolutely. Like just being on the ground there. Uh, in one of the things that's really hard to do while there's a live tournament going on is really let give everybody a look in at like how passionate everybody is on the ground there. But I'm glad some of it at least was able to translate over the stream to because there it was just incredible, man. Like that people it came from all over the world, and people were so eager to learn. I mean, the workshops that I did. I really hoping I can get the footage from Supercell because they released like a 2 minute really quick recap thing, and but I really would like to get like the whole 40 minutes because people were so engaging and interested, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like one thing that you
So
probably, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, that seems interesting. I know you had an opportunity to do, a little workshop, a little panel or whatever.
Yeah.
What was the topic? What kind of audience did you guys have attendance-wise, and what types of questions did you get?
Yeah, man. So there was. I'm excited to talk to you about this because I think it will hopefully it will blow your mind as much as it blew mine. But there's. So I did the panel on the wars, and that was fine, and that was cool, and that was live, so that was pretty cool to be in front of 100,000 people. But the what I was doing most of the day was actually workshops that weren't live on the stream. But man, it would have been so cool if you guys could have seen them. That's why, like I said, I hope you guys can. But there was about 1,000 people there, probably a little bit more than that, and I would draw the really big crowds. Like we didn't have enough mics because I had a mic and headsets, so we didn't have enough headsets for the people. And well, I didn't chose, they chose, because what they did was they took a look at my videos and they thought, what do we need still to add to the workshops? And they decided I would do like air 3-star attacks. So I did like Go La Loon was what I did it on. And so I just basically broke down, and what I tried to do was talk a lot about Town Hall 11 too, and speculate on what I would do is speculate a little bit on how the attacking meta is going to change to be more like this all throughout the game, or Town Hall 10 and above. And I basically just played a couple of my videos, like some of my intro to Go La Loon or whatever, and I just played the attacks. And what I would do is I would just stop, almost like I was like a professor, and and say now, and I would basically be able to cover much more than I can in a YouTube video. So man, it was really cool. And just to answer your question better, the audience was so interested. Like I was afraid there'd be like 5 people there, and they'd be like, "Who is this guy?" to me. But the audience was like so passionately interested, and I was shocked to find out that you'd think that people who travel across the world pay $100 or whatever it was to get inside, and would be really like the hardcore players, like max Town Hall 10s. But I was shocked that like about half the people on average on all 4 of my workshops hadn't even ever attempted a 3-star strategy.
Wow.
So
I
yeah,
think that's pretty telling too.
it is. It
I
is.
think uh, that kind of I don't know that it validates, but it kind of explains Supercell's focus
Yep.
on the casuals, I guess you could call them.
Hmm.
And to
Exactly.
me, there's nothing wrong with being a casual player. Absolutely
Exactly.
nothing. I'd like to see more war community stuff. Like Jake calls it hardcore war. I don't know. I don't know that it's hardcore. It's just war enthusiasts. That's something that
Yeah.
drew me to the game. Like for example, I was aware of Clash of Clans since 2000, I think 12 when it came out, but I refused to play it. There was no team-based PvP
Hmm.
action, and that's what I've always been drawn to in games. That's where my history is in gaming, is guild-based, clan-based games where we fight each other, we win, woohoo, right? Well,
Yeah.
that didn't come out until Clan Wars when it was announced in April 2014, and the second they announced Clan Wars, like they tweeted it out or something, I got a wind of that. I downloaded the app immediately, started playing, and that was when I started playing this game, was when Clan Wars came out. So that's like from the very beginning, that has been my sole interest, my sole focus, and I know there's quite a large audience of folks that enjoy the game the exact same way. So it would be cool to see more of that, and perhaps share without any venom or animosity, or speaking down to those that may not know the intricacies of the game,
Sure.
like those that are more experienced in war, because that's something that I really hate to see
Yeah.
is when
Here.
people lash out, and talk down to people and put them down. I really dislike that, and I hope that we can kind of put a lid on that moving forward, because I think that there's a place for everybody at the table, and we should all just respect, how we all want to enjoy the game, if that makes sense.
You know what? I couldn't have said it better myself. And to be honest with you, I've always been that guy in the middle. As far as I love war, and that's why I play too.
Hmm.
And but I also like watching more casual channels here and there. Before I did, now I don't have a ton of time, right? But before I started YouTubing,
Right.
and working, I was a viewer of all kinds of YouTubers who aren't hardcore war, like Molt Daddy, guys like that, And
Hmm.
then I got into guys who were more hardcore war as well. Like I watched Jake videos, I watched your videos, I watch people who are more hybrid, like Galadon and stuff, And I
Right.
think I think just like you said, there's a place for everybody, and you know what? It is a symptomatic of the passion people have for the game, right? That they get so passionately yeah, pro or con war and in divisions, and I know you have too, and that's why I love chatting with you, and I wanted to have this discussion with you, is because I know we've been loving the whole community, and I gotta tell you, like, these guys are really cool. Like, meeting them all here is really awesome. Like, they're all
That's
really great
great.
guys. Yeah. So
That's great. Yeah, it's something I feel that everybody that is promoting this game, and essentially, whether they work directly for Supercell or not, we're all promoting their company and their product.
yeah,
And I feel like there's something to be gained from all of the people that put out content, whether it's educational or entertainment. Occasionally we have a Galadon video float through the chat, and there's
sure.
something, maybe there's an attack or something that it's like, hey, that there's an idea, and you can pull from that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a bad guy or anything. Like, people put up these walls like that we have to fight with each other, and I personally I can't stand it.
Yeah,
I
I
just want to be
agree.
able to get along with other people in the community without having some sort of cat fight constantly.
I agree with you 100%. I'm really glad you're mentioning this too, because I think I think there is an aura out there that people, or an understanding, a misunderstanding out there. There we go. That people, that war people don't get along with non-war people, and I think that's a big misnomer as well. And I'm glad you feel the same, because I think that there's a very vocal minority who, just are critical of people for no reason because they don't play a game the same way you do. But think of how ridiculous that sounds when you say it out loud. It's a game,
Exactly.
and you're playing it the same way you do. So yeah, and
Exactly.
I've always tried to include some like farming videos to try to switch it up, and I think that I like meeting different audiences, and I must just get back to the original how we got on this little digression here, is that even though half the people in the room haven't 3-star before, they all were really excited to learn, and I had so many people come up to me afterwards, and they were like, Ash, I just did this right now, and they showed me like a replay that they tried using Lava Loon,
Right.
and it was really cool because it was showing them like, this is my first time ever, how did I do, and I'd be like, oh, you need to work on this and this, and it was just like, it was really cool that people really wanted to learn and were engaged like that. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's somewhere I'd like to take my channel personally,
Yeah.
is helping people start out and
Yeah.
transition from that 1 and 2 star mindset and practice and troop composition, and help them evolve to getting 3 stars. And there's no reason that can't happen. All it is just people don't know. They don't have the awareness, and they've never been shown by somebody. And once you kind of are clued in to how to do it,
Mhm.
you can start trying things and experimenting things. But a lot of people don't know. Like, speaking of Town Hall 9 and in general, the casual players, they don't realize that Archer Queen's pretty important to kill, before
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start your attack. And
Hmm.
just little stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, how do we do that? And that's something that I'd like to do more of, is teaching fundamentals and helping people make that transition and that jump. So
Yeah.
one question that I did have for you, for the folks on the ground at the event, in attendance, did they get any more of a sneak peek than those on the internet, or was everything that was shown, on the stream what was shown live?
It was pretty much everything that was shown on the stream was what was shown live. There might have been more speculation on the ground because people had the opportunity to talk to, dozens of people who knew a little bit more, But I don't think anything was, if there's any leaks out there on the internet or anything like that, everything I've seen is just that. It's just like, it's basically just pure speculation. It's not true.
Speculation with a
Yeah.
creative graphic to go with it, right?
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I don't think anybody got any inside knowledge who was there as far as attendees go, but there was speculation. Like, I know on my workshops, I talked a lot about what I think where I think the game was going, all that stuff is. But I don't think that was necessarily an advantage that anybody got there. They just probably heard it here there first because no one had. It was 2 a.m. like you said,
Yeah,
where you were. So, but I don't think
exactly.
there's I don't think there was any slips if you will about because I've seen a few rumors of those, but I'm pretty confident that there wasn't any because I've seen like speculation on the new hero, for example, and everything I've seen so far has been at least a little bit off on what I've heard. So. Uh,
Understood.
yeah, but
So,
I think it'll be cool though. So
have you guys had a chance to go outside at all, or have you guys been locked down in meetings, or I mean, how is
uh,
Helsinki?
oh man, it's getting I've been living like I was 22 again. These guys are so smart, but they also really know how to show us a good time. So. And the YouTubers are awesome and social, and we all go out together. We stick together, which is awesome. Like it's not like, oh, I'm Chief Pat, I'm gonna go to my hotel room and do whatever. But nah, it's like it's funny because I'm not gonna lie. I was a little fanboyish the first night. I'm like, I can't believe this. This is like, whatever.
This is crazy. I've
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
many a video of you. Yeah.
exactly. But then like anything else in life, like I'm sure no matter who it was that you met, after like 3 days or whatever it is, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, you're like they just become like yeah, Pat, or whatever, whoever it
Right.
is. But they're all great, like I said, and they're all great guys. And I was surprised that like guys like Molt and Pat and Galadon, man, they streamed for 9 hours or whatever on the on ClashCon, and none of that was scripted. And man, I thought they did a great job. Like especially Molt, man, he was like hosting the entire time, and there's no script, there's no teleprompt. He was just like, and it was just like, wow, that's pretty good. It's a pretty long day for them as well.
I wanted to give props to Molt too because I know he catches a lot of flack
Oh
from
yeah, dude,
people
what a good
all
guy.
over the
Yeah.
place. A little of that
Mhm.
at the start might have been, all right. I think it's gone way too far. But, moving back to ClashCon, I thought he did a fantastic job as kind of like an MC of the event. Very, very
He's a
polished looking, and
natural.
I could tell
Yeah.
that there was no prompt or script or anything like that. But he was very comfortable and communicated clearly and kind of kept things moving. So props to him on that. I thought he did a really nice job.
Yeah, it
And so
was
did everybody
really
else for that matter
yeah.
too. But Molt was kind of the guy that kind of did the main intro and kind of kept things going and the transitions between the different events. So
Yeah, was there anything that you saw that you were you able to see any of the like the special I don't know what you call them features set booths and whatnot, the events on the sides at all, or was it pretty much just like the war stuff?
they a lot of it was the war. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
yeah,
They from what I saw, they had Ilka come out and address everybody. That's the Supercell CEO, and
yeah,
then
yep,
he talked for a while. Everything he said sounded great. And then they transitioned over to Jonas. He did the little update, showed us kind of what's to come, and then they did a lot of touring, kind of around like they had the selfie stick out, and they had a
yeah,
camera kind of showing what was going on. The little Hog Riders running around, but you saw a lot of
yeah.
the consoles that they had set up with the tablets out, so people could do their raids or whatever, and show it on the big screen that's right there in front of them. Thought that was pretty neat, interactive for sure, and then just kind of a lot of cool little hangout spots. They had the Pekka Cafe that they showed. Um, and then they got into the war content, and then they would transition back and forth between panels and war, and that was kind of the
Okay,
gist of it for the
yeah,
remainder. So that's
yeah,
kind of
that makes
all of what I
sense.
saw.
Yeah, yeah. Visually, it was just unbelievable. I mean, for this to be their first event, other than like the smaller live streams, obviously before, but for this to be their first actual public event and wow, I mean everything was just top notch as far as quality there. And honestly, I haven't seen anybody saying otherwise as far as like I'm not just drinking the Kool-Aid, everybody was they
No,
did a lot, man. I'm not sure how much you got to check out on the stream, but as far as
I
like
saw all those
yeah,
statues that they had created. The Pekka, they
yeah,
had.
yeah. It
I
balloons,
can't
they
even
had
remember. Yeah, the
yeah,
balloons hanging from the ceiling. Everything just looked fantastic. I mean, that
yeah.
that was what I said. Going back to our earlier conversation. Everything appearance wise, it was very obvious that they put a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of money
Yeah.
into making this happen. And obviously, that's well received from me, and I know others in the community because it does show that they're making a great effort and investing in their own games. So I was happy with the effort that was put out, and I think that this could mean big things for the game moving forward because it was such a polished, I guess, first event. They just got to work on their message, I think. What they're putting out to the community as far as the hype goes,
Yep.
and either communicate more clearly or make it a bigger announcement, I guess, for the next one. So it reminds me a lot of what like Apple does with, the release of like the next iPhone model or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They
It was
have it right
yeah.
there on display, polished, final version. Here it is, show it off to the world, and people, fans go absolutely crazy for weeks to come. And I think that was kind of the event. The stage was set for that, and I feel like the amount of polish and the way everything looked, I think that was the expectation that people had, and it just
Uh-huh.
wasn't there. So I think you're seeing a little bit of backlash from that.
Yeah, I think that could. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Obviously, a lot of that hype was the community is
Hmm.
obvious. They did say it was going to be a big update, and I think that delivered. But I agree with the sentiment that on the size of the stage that they had set, the proverbial stage, I should say,
Right.
that you almost expected the confetti to come out in the beginning instead of the end. So I agree that was I think people were expecting it to be unveiled a little bit differently, but I think I still stand by that I do think that it was huge, but perhaps it was perhaps maybe next time they'll make it even huger, the presentation of it, like you said, like akin to Apple or something like that.
Sure, sure.
And
Maybe even focusing, more on a script or something, for the. I mean, but
yeah,
everybody did such a good job that I don't know that that would be a necessity, really. Everybody, Pat, Galadon, Mo, all those guys did great.
yeah.
Kind of MCing and carrying the show. Do we have any idea as far as timeline goes? I mean, what are we looking at here? Is this going to be out this year? Are we talking a couple of weeks? I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, I can say that I'm sure they don't want to set an exact date because with things, I mean, this was the first time they ever shared anything in the developer iPad, right? So like that was what Jonas was using when he shared the stuff live on the stream. So I think they were hesitant because what if they have to change one thing and it sets it back as well? And there's obviously like a thing they have to okay everything with Apple and
Hmm.
Android before they. So it's hard to set an exact date until it gets approved. But with that said, I don't get the impression that this is going to be like update 2016. I think
Hmm.
it's going to be it's closer than some people are hypothesizing. But at the same time, might have to be a little patient for a few weeks or something to see. Who knows?
Sure.
They did say it's going to be extended sneak peek, so who knows how much that will help tide us over until the actual day comes. So
I know it's gonna be painful, man. Now that everybody
yeah,
knows that Town Hall
I
11's on the
know,
way, it's
I
gonna
know.
be
It's
waiting
going to be
around with bated
yeah,
breath for this update.
it's going to be
And I'm just hoping that it gets here sooner rather than later. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I feel
yeah,
like they did say it's gonna be weeks, plural, of
yep,
sneak peeks, and
yep.
so I got the impression that we're looking at least a month or so out, but hopefully sooner. But that's just my speculation
Yeah,
again.
it's gonna
So.
be sneak peek one, new flower bed. you know, they're gonna really draw it
Really
out,
drag it
drag it.
out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So your plans? Are you going to be hitting that upgrade button on your town hall the moment it comes
Uh,
out, or what? What's the plan?
yes, 100%. I'm gonna be. I'll gem it up well, I'll gem the town hall immediately, so I'll have it done. But then this is gonna be the first time I've ever been put in the position of possibly going point 0.5 because, like I said, I was town hall max town hall 10 when the Clan Wars even came out.
Right, that
So
wasn't a thing.
yeah, but it's going to be weird with that new defense because it looks so powerful,
Yeah, how could you not have that? Right?
it's like so badass, and I'm just like, huh, geez, I don't know if it's even going to be. But then, and then obviously, if you get even more in depth, like then you have to answer the question: is that gonna have a dramatic weight or an effect on your base?
You
Is
know
it
what?
going to
You
be
bring
like
up a really good point about that because I think the benefit to going Town Hall 9.5 now is everybody is very familiar with how, I mean, at least in the high level war community, we're
yeah,
very familiar with how to hit a Town Hall 10 base to get 2 stars, or even if you have the troops for it at the Town Hall 9.5 level, to
yeah,
get that 3 star. And
yeah,
conversely, having that overpowered army for a Town Hall 9 just makes it unfair. So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
looking ahead to Town Hall 11, we don't know how to hit these bases. So where's the benefit to being a point 0.5? You know what I mean? It's
Well, I can
like
tell you, I
we're
can
all
tell you
just
where it
kind of.
is. It's in the hero, man.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
If you got that other, oh no,
have
I
a
mean, like, what's the
third
benefit
hero.
of
Oh,
not building defense? I guess you would say, and
oh, I
getting
get
the
you.
benefit of the Town Hall 11 defense and the upgrades. Because I feel like, all right, we've got a Town Hall 10 base with new offense and a new hero, but I don't think people understand really or can do it, uh, you know. With great success rates, I don't think they can hit the Town Hall 10s to begin with. But who knows? It's gonna be weird. I just think
Yeah,
because it's so uncertain right now,
yeah.
uh,
Think about it though.
strategy's going to
Yeah,
develop, and it's hard to say right off the bat if that's the right call to do that or not.
yeah, and yeah, just just to further speculate, because now I'm geeking out here. If you have a Town Hall 11, let's just hypothesize that there's more troop levels or more defensive levels. I think that maybe if you just go Town Hall 11 and get the hero, it may be like if they add something to troop levels, if you do that as well, and you still stay relatively close to a town war map, it could still be worth it, depending on what that weight is. I guess. So because
Definitely.
you would think with a third hero, no matter what it does, you're gonna have. I mean, if you add a hero to the equation, that's pretty big. And I
Uh
do I
huh.
do know I do know that.
All right, guys, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. Ash did get claimed a little bit by his hotel Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
so we're back. We were talking a little bit about the point 5, some of the new things that could be accomplished maybe with this Town Hall 11, some of the new hero capabilities or something like that. So, Ash, you want to go ahead and wrap this up?
Yeah, let's do it. I think this Wi-Fi is gonna start charging me by the second in a second here, but no, it's a little spotty, but thanks for bearing with me there. Yeah, let's. I mean, we've been chatting a while. I feel like we could talk for hours, and hopefully all our viewers like hearing us chat. And I think we've done a good amount of covering ClashCon and some reaction to what we know so far about the update. So yeah, let's wrap it up, man. Do you have any big plans for the channel coming up, or tell us a little bit about Powerbang?
Well, I'm going to be doing more of the same. I'm going to be
Yep.
trying to cover a lot of the new content that comes out, as soon as I can, obviously, to kind of be first to get that to you. I have some more 3-star vault videos coming, which I'm trying to build a comprehensive library. I know a few of them have been done by other individuals or clans, but I'm trying to get an updated list of some of the bases we're seeing in the current meta, and that is probably even going to change a little bit more with the update that's coming. So I'm going to be focusing on the popular bases that we see all the time, and basically getting a blueprint out to being able to get those things 3-starred. So do check the channel for that. Other than that, more recaps, more strategy, more
Mm-hmm.
how-tos, and just basically that moving forward. So that's what you're going to see over at my channel. What
Sweet.
about you, man? What do you got coming up?
Man, well, obviously a lot of Town Hall 11 content. Like you, folks really seem to love the 3-star blueprint type stuff. So, gonna continue doing that kind of stuff, and hopefully move that over to 11 and how it impacts the game. And I'm also gonna start throwing in. I already do like one farming video a week, but I want to try to help people get the resources they need to get to Town Hall 11 someday. But otherwise, just having fun with the game, same as you. Just trying to bring some intelligence to attacking, and at the same time, trying to have fun with it.
Absolutely. I think that's what we're all striving for. So, guys, if you're watching this on my channel and you have not checked out Ashlain over at Clash with Ash, please do so. The link will be in the description to his channel. You can also find him as one of the featured channels, one of the few featured channels on my channel here. So,
Ah,
give him a
thank you.
subscribe, and make sure that you guys are watching his content, because it's top notch. Does a great job with editing his videos and providing valuable and useful, excuse me,
Oh, what a Freudian
useful
slip there. What a
information.
Freudian slip.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
that
could
you
have
gotta
been.
mark that and take that out. Just joking. Just joking.
No,
No.
my bad. No, but seriously though, he provides so much useful information on the channel that you guys definitely need to give him a sub. So that's all I got, Ash. Anything
Yeah.
you want to finish up with?
No, obviously, same to you, man. Great channel, and I think, like I said before, you definitely really add intelligence, and you make it easy. You make difficult attacks easy to understand. So subscribe, Powerbang Gaming, and hey, stay tuned to both of us for more impact on the update and stuff like that. I know it's you hate to be one of those guys who just like milks the update, but I got to be honest, it's totally authentic. I don't think there's much on our minds besides how the game's going to change. Is pretty big. So yeah, stay tuned to both of us and follow us on Twitter. By the way, I'm at Ash_with_Ash and Powerbang. You're at
At Powerbank Gaming.
okay. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Both channels. Loved having you and loved chatting with you, Powerbang.
Sounds good, Ash. Thanks again for making this happen, and thanks for taking the time while you're over in Finland, man. Have fun and safe travels home.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.